Hey, hi, Coach Vassar. Thank you for joining me with OTF Audio Daily Beats. As always, if you're new, appreciate you tuning in, listen to me talk about these workouts. If you find value in them, let me know. Shoot me a message. Information to support me is also in the description of these videos. We're gonna break down the 500-meter row benchmark. This template tends to not change very much, so I'll repeat this video probably a couple times throughout the year. We'll talk about kind of the overall view, 2G differences, 3Gs, and get you on out of here. A little bit of strategy as well. So endurance on the treads, endurance on the rower, strength on the weight floor. So the treads, we're gonna use that to prep for or recover from the 500-meter benchmark, depending on which side of the room you start today. For the rower, you're gonna conquer the 500-meter row benchmark. Check your previous time in the mobile app to be ready. And if it's your first time, set your bar. If you're not here to crush the benchmark, all good. Your goal today is to focus on form. I like that. For the floor, prime your muscles for the rower, then work and rest to finish out the workout. As previously mentioned, this is a template that gets repeated quite often, and the last time it was done, and this one, everything's exactly the same. So a switch template for the 2G, we're gonna see a 4-minute block on the treads, the weight floor, another 4-minute block on the treads, weight floor, then a 10-minute block on the treadmill, 10-minute block on the weight floor. Between the first two transitions, there's a 2-minute transition to rotate the room, but after the benchmark, every transition is then 3 minutes. So we'll start for the group who happens to start on the treadmills. They'll have their warm-up, and for the treadmills, the first 2 times are on the treads, they choose their own intensity and maintain for the duration of the block. So for the first group, this could be an extended warm-up, maintain base for 4 minutes. They could progressively build to kind of prime that lower body if they want to. It is truly up to them. They'll go to the weight floor, they'll come back to the treads, and then do another 4-minute tread. After that, they'll head to the rower, and then they'll tackle the benchmark. So something just to be aware of, they will do the treads, then the benchmark, so they might be pretty conservative. When they eventually make their way back to the treadmill, the final block is 10 minutes. Very simple, it's gonna be decrease in pushes with fixed bases. They're gonna start with a 1-minute push, 1-minute base, and then the push will decrease by 15 seconds, but they'll be repeated twice. So you have a 1 minute twice, 45 seconds twice, and a 30-second push twice. After each push, you do have a 1-minute base, except for the last one. So you'll see 30 push, 1-minute base, 30 push, 30-second all out. The goal here is to increase the push intensity as the duration decreases. So knowing that they want to increase, probably start closer to like 1 over their base, and then every round add 0.1 or more. Power walkers, 6% or greater, and then increase incline. Bikes and striders, nice and simple, 3 gears over base, and then when they do the 45 seconds, can they do 4 gears? On the 30 seconds, can they do 5 gears? So nothing too crazy with the treadmills. Really the highlight is gonna be the rower weight floor stuff. So the people who start on the rower, for the warm-up, they'll have their 3-minute base row, get them set up for the 2 minutes. Block 1, 4 minutes. They're gonna tackle 250-meter push row just one time. Then they're gonna wipe down the rower, head to the weight floor. They have the dumbbell bench bridge, shoulders are on the bench, dumbbell in the crease of the hip for 10 reps, and then a strap high row. This is a primer, and it's an extended warm-up. So the bridge, obviously priming the hamstrings and glutes, the high row priming the upper back, and the posture muscles for the row itself. So have members really be methodical and move with intention on these exercises to really get them prepared for that work. Okay. After they do that, they have that 4-minute tread that the other group did. When they come back to the rower, they now will tackle the 500-meter row benchmark. Talk about strategies for that in a second. They go to the treads, and then eventually they come back to the weight floor, and then they'll do a 10-minute block here. For this one, this is work and rest. So we're gonna see goblet, alternate and step out squats, bench chest fly, full alternate and step up to hammer curl, and then the low side plank pendulum with a kickstand. All 4 exercises, anywhere from 6 to 10 reps. So pick a rep range that feels good for them, use moderate to heavy weight for that rep selection. Now, a couple things here for this one. Step out squats, obviously they're stepping out to one side, drop down, come back, then the other side. Chest fly, if any shoulder issues, you could pop them onto the strap, do a chest press from the strap so they still work on that stability. For the alternating full step up to hammer curl, they'll start with both feet down, left foot up, right foot up. They do the curl at the top, right foot down, left foot down. Then on the next rep, right, left, right, okay? And then they have the low side plank with the pendulum. The key thing for that movement is from the head, hips, very little movement, really. That leg should just kind of swing front to back, very minimal amount to kind of challenge that stability. The finisher for that will be a bench lateral hop over for the final 30 seconds, and then they'll go to the treads and finish there. So when we look at the 3G setup, this is also a switch template, and we're gonna have everyone tackle the benchmark at the very beginning. So anyone who starts on the rower has a specific dynamic warm-up that they're gonna do, very similar to what we saw for the 200-meter benchmark. So people who start on the treadmills, people who start on the weight floor, that's the normal stuff. They'll do a 1-minute walk, 5 minutes at base on the weight floor, have them do that dynamic warm-up for the first 3 minutes before you go over their first block. For the rowers, they're gonna do a 250-meter row, and then the alternating step-out squat and forward-backward hops, 10 reps for the squat, 20 reps for the hops, and they're gonna repeat that for those 6 minutes. They'll probably get 2 rounds in or so, maybe 3, but really it's about getting people off the rower, back on, getting them moving, help get their heart rate elevated and mentally prepare for the benchmark. Now, for this whole first section here, 4-minute block across the board for that first block. Treads is a 4-minute tread, just like before. Choose their intensity, maintain for the duration of the block. After that, they'll go to the rower. They'll tackle the benchmark, talk about that later. And then the floor block is a 4-minute circuit here, and it's gonna be the bench bridge, strap high row, and then a core exercise, the bench seated knee tuck. So for the people who start on the weight floor, this is an opportunity for them to prime their body before they go to the treads and then to the rower for the benchmark. Anyone who starts on the treadmill or the rower, when they get to this circuit, it's just extra work for them. So it's not gonna be priming them or anything, but there are gonna be. Now, the section after that, when we're doing the switch, you have 2.5 minutes to rotate the room. After that, you still have only 2.5 minutes to rotate the room. Block number 2 at every section is going to be 8 minutes and 45 seconds. Once the treadmills are done with that block, they'll go to the rower will go to the weight floor, and repeat. So everyone will hit the treadmills twice, everyone will hit the rower twice, everyone will be at the weight floor 2 times today for the 3G. For the tread, the longer block is very similar to the 2G third block. They'll see a 1-minute push and a 45 base twice. Then their push will be 45 seconds 2 times. And then their last push is only 30 seconds, 45 base, and then a 30-second all out. So they're not gonna double up on that 30-second push. A little bit different, but similar. Same goal, increase push intensity as the duration decreases. For the rower, we're looking to maintain or increase watts as the distance decreases. They're gonna start with a 300-meter push row, and then body weight split squats, 8 on each side, and they're gonna decrease the row by 50 meters, 5 rounds. So 300, and then 250, 200, 150, 100 will be the last round. If they manage to finish that, then they row until the finisher for a 30-second all out. And then on the floor, it's gonna be 4 movements, similar to the 2G, so work and rest with the step out squat, chest fly, hammer curl, step up situation, and the low side plank, and the same finisher. So that's the basic stuff. Now let's talk about the actual 500-meter row benchmark. So a couple key things. One, as mentioned in the key concepts, have members have a goal in mind when they come in. So if they've done it in the past, check on the app, what was their time to do last time? Can they match or beat it? Especially if they feel good and they are ready to perform. The beautiful thing about the 500-meter row benchmark is 1, use stored programs. 2, pay attention to your split time. All right, because obviously that's how long it's gonna take you to finish your 500 meters. So there you go. So for example, if someone did it in 157 and they wanna do better, after the first 5-6 strokes, they got to get that split time under 157 and keep it there. They're going to beat their time then. Now, the thing about the benchmark though, it's 500 meters. It's not quite a sprint, but it is. It's not that long of a row, but it is. It is a true what is going to empty out first, or which wall will you hit? Because if you think about it, a 500-meter row, we're trying to start at a push effort and then finish at an all-out intensity at the very end. So it is a build. People tend to start way too hot. They treat it like an all-out at the very beginning, but that can only be sustained for about 45 seconds, and then they gas out, and then they still have 200 meters left, and they are struggling. So a way to get people kind of set up for this one, the first 5 strokes gets them moving. Try to settle into a stroke rate probably around 26 to 28 for that first 200 to 300 meters, and then gradually increase the rhythm. So by the last 100, their stroke rate might be 30 plus, and now that last 100 meters, they are hitting that all-out effort. So they know, hey, I got 15 seconds left, empty it out, and then we're done. People are either going to hit the wall anaerobically, and they're going to hit that lactic threshold, and then they've got nothing left. Or it could also be a situation where they start so strong, they have an accident, like they get launched off the seat, they lose their grip on the handle. I've seen someone literally fall out of their shoes, and their shoes are still on the rower. Crazy. Excuse my French, pardon my French, but shit happens with this 500-meter row benchmark. All honesty, it's one of those ones where you do it once or twice, maybe 3 times, and then that's it. Like, there's no point of ever trying to do it again and get better, because the amount of effort you have to do to improve by 1 or 2 seconds it's a lot. So, but for first timers, it's great just to give them a bar to set to improve on 3 months from now. For the people who have done it once or twice, they will see improvement because hopefully between these multiple attempts, they've had plenty of time where you've coached them to improve their form. They are stronger through their lower body. They have better core stability, and they are biomechanically more sound and efficient. So they are able to move everything smoother, to generate more power and keep it consistent as well. After people have done this 4 or 5 times, father time catches up, and they might not be hitting PRs what they did before. Now they could still probably hit like leaderboards for their age group, and that could change, and that's cool. This is one where it is good to have an honest conversation with those members who've been doing it for so long, where, hey, you showed up, just have a good workout. Don't even bother with entering your time. If you do want to, cool. Try to finish within like a 10% range. So, if you finished in 2 minutes, could you finish in about 148 to 2 minutes? That's a win, because that's, a 10% wiggle room is really not that bad when we look at a short effort like this, where it's something that takes under 2 minutes to complete. But yeah, that's my my little rant. I'll get off my soapbox for this one. Main thing though, set people up for success. What I like to do is the members that I know who have a goal in mind, I will write their split time on the rower between their foot plates. So that way when they are down there strapping in, it's right there. That's the time they have to hold for their split time or lower to get a PR. And it's right in front of them. It's a constant reminder. It's great for that. Other than that, that's all I got for you guys. Coach it down. If you need any help, let me know. I'm here for you, and you got this.